We are the National Legal and Policy Center, and we have a simple question. Who is George Soros?
George Soros. George Soros.
George Soros.
George Soros.
George Soros.
George Soros.
George Soros.
George Soros.
Over a series of 9 separate investigations, we've taken a deep dive into the life and philanthropy of George Soros and his Open Society foundations. And what we've uncovered should concern all Americans. Money without borders, power without accountability, and a family foundation that views democracy and human rights as a project that is theirs and theirs alone to manage. From the streets of New York to the halls of Brussels, George Soros's Open Society foundations have quietly built a global network that rewrites laws, funds protests, and redefines charity. Behind each group is another. Behind each cause, another deposit of dark money. Together, they form a web, one that hides ideology behind the language of compassion.
Now, Alex says he's even more political than his dad. Oh, great.
Alex Soros, the heir apparent, is the newest weaver of this web. Recently married to Hillary Clinton's longtime lieutenant, Huma Abedin, the younger Soros is combining his father's billions with the Clinton network's reach. It's not philanthropy anymore. It's a franchise. The results are visible and include organized street movements, politicized prosecutors, ballot manipulation, foreign agitators, and tax-exempt money underwriting it all. However, before you can understand the Soros network, you have to understand the machine that moves its money. Ever heard of the Tide Center?
The Tide Center. A name that sounds harmless, like something to do with the ocean. But what really rises and falls here isn't water. It's money. For almost 50 years, this San Francisco-based nonprofit has quietly moved billions of dollars through its ledgers in the name of social justice. And few benefactors have been more generous or more strategic than George Soros. Between 2016 and 2022, Soros's Open Society foundations sent $13.7 million to Tides. Another $3.5 million before that. A torrent of cash that keeps its sources out of sight and its intentions out of reach. They call it a donor-advised fund, a kind of financial shadow box where anonymous contributors can hide behind charity. Tides calls it flexibility. Critics call it legalized money laundering. And when Tides filed its 2022 return, that section, the one that lists those funds, was left completely blank. Tides was born in 1976 from the mind of Drummond Pike, financed by a tobacco heiress who wanted to fight injustice with other people's dividends. From nuclear protests to corporate boycotts, Tides became the ATM of the radical left, a philanthropy built for the politically impatient. Today, Tides is 5 organizations masquerading as one mission: network, foundation, center, converge, advocacy. Different labels, same ideology. Its CEO, Janice Evans Page, calls it comprehensive fiscal sponsorship. Translation: we'll handle your money and your messaging, no questions asked. At the end of 2023, Tide sat on almost $1 billion in assets and a mission statement bigger than its ledger. When Black Lives Matter needed a banker for its $90 million haul, Tide stepped in. A few years later, BLM sued, claiming $33 million vanished.
BLM GNF is saying that they entrusted $33 million to Tides Foundation back in 2020 when they did not have status with the IRS. In 2021, when they asked for that cash back, Tides refused and said they were giving money to other BLM chapters.
For a group obsessed with accountability, Tides has a curious aversion to it.
One of the things that Tides has been in the news for lately is that it's acted as sort of a flow-through nonprofit for a lot of the groups that are funding the campus protests at Columbia, at NYU, at Berkeley.
Even California taxpayers chip in. Since 2019, state agencies under Governor Gavin Newsom have funneled $18 million to the Tide Center for projects no one can quite name. Those funds then flow to groups that cheer for Palestinian resistance and accuse Israel of genocide. Money laundering meets moral laundering. The Tides Network may be the most powerful financial intermediary for radical politics on Earth, and George Soros its favorite customer. But behind every money handler is a mission, and behind every mission, a migrant. Next, we follow the trail of Soros cash south of the border and discover how philanthropy became a pipeline.
You've been watching the Soros Network Exposed. If you value independent journalism that follows the money and names the names, like, follow, and share this series. Follow us on this platform and visit NLPC.org for full reports, documents, and updates on ongoing investigations. Thank you for watching.